Slavery is a choice. Slavery is a choice. I'm going to talk about this physically and metaphysically. It's a choice, no matter how you look at it. People like to get into the physical argument that slavery was not a choice, that people were forced to be slaves. But how can you force someone to be a slave physically? It makes no sense. Unless you are just a slave already to think that. Your mind is already enslaved if you think that slavery is a choice. No one can force you to be a slave. You have two choices. If you see that you're being enslaved, you can either fight back against slavery and choose to die a free man or woman, a free being, or you can choose to be enslaved. You can choose to be put into slavery. It's your choice, no matter how you look at it. People are just afraid to die, so they choose that slavery is not a choice so that they feel good about being enslaved. So that they feel okay with being enslaved. Not good. They feel okay with it, even though they talk about it. It's a choice. Because someone who's truly free is going to fight back. They're going to fight until there's no fight left. Because you won't know when you die. Will you? Will you know when you die? How can you know when you die? Because you're dead. You can know pain, what you think it feels like to die, but you don't know what it feels like to die because you'd be dead. Every time that you've come back from being ill or sick, you have not died. You didn't die. So you came back from it. So how can you know what that is? How can you know what it is to not be there? If you weren't actually not there. You didn't just disappear into the air. How can you know? This is why slavery is a choice. You choose to be free, and when you choose to be free, you don't stand for slavery. You won't let anyone enslave you, no matter what. You will kill yourself before you let someone enslave you. That is what a free person would do. An enslaved person would say that I had no choice because they were forcing us onto those slave ships and they took us overseas to this land that I'm not even a part of. I want to go back. I want to go back to where I came from. But you're here and you're just in a slave mindset at that point because you're just bringing up emotions so that you can feel content with where you have been put, and so that you actually don't do anything, which has to do with being enslaved in the mind. Because someone who allows slavery does not express themselves mentally. They don't express what they actually are, who they actually are, what they actually embody, because it's not being a free-minded person. You're afraid to talk about things. You're afraid to say things to certain people. You're afraid to go up to someone and ask for directions even. You're afraid to tell someone directions. You're afraid to give someone yourself, regardless of how it may come out or how it may, what it may cause. Because you're too busy thinking. You're too busy thinking about something. And when you're thinking, you are killing yourself. When you are thinking constantly, and when you're thinking what people may say, may do back to you when you do something, how people may react or respond, you are enslaved mentally. You are locking yourself into your mind by doing that. You are not free of mind. The mind has enslaved you because you allowed it to, instead of using the mind as this beautiful instrument to spend time around and give everyone whatever comes to you. You need to express yourself if you want to be free. If you want to be free, you need to just let it pour out of you, physically and mentally. And it all starts with the mind, because people are too busy thinking they're in time, that they have time to waste, even though them talking about it is wasting time, because now they're talking about something they should be doing instead of speaking about, because all they do is think about it. You need to release yourself from thought. You need to release yourself from self-doubt. Stop doubting what you are. Start being what you are. Start putting it out. Start saying it. Make a video. Just go in public and start screaming. Whatever you need to do, it doesn't matter. Stop thinking how people are going to react, because you know what people are going to do? They're going to come around you. Regardless if they're saying, what is wrong with that person? What are they doing? Or if they're saying, wow, that guy, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. Wow. Because really, if you go out in public and you start screaming, even though people are sitting there, you think they're judging you, they're not. They're judging themselves because they really wish that they could go out in public and just start screaming, but they're afraid of what might happen if they do, because they're in a slave mindset. They're too busy consuming instead of creating and expressing themselves. When you consume constantly, you get stuck in your mind. You get stuck in your thoughts. You get stuck in the time. You get stuck in the week. You get weak. You can't breathe. You forget to. You're not breathing. And eventually you do die. Because that's really the only way you die. You don't die when you're free. You don't. You don't die when you're free. You feel pain when you're free. You express that pain though. You don't hold it in. If you're choking, you don't go to the bathroom like most people do. They say, most people when they're choking, they go to the bathroom because they're embarrassed that they're choking, because they're embarrassed at how much they consume. Whether it's conscious or subconsciously, they are. So much of this is happening subconsciously because it has been done consciously, and they program their subconscious to react in this way, to respond in this manner. When you can change that, you can change how your mind is, you can change how your subconscious works by consciously being available to everyone at every moment, and actually being in the moment, hearing the birds chirping and the winds blowing and the wheels turning and the motion of everything moving, and knowing that you are not in the same place ever. You're always moving. Once you realize that, you know that you're free because you're moving. When you know that you're moving, you can't be enslaved. It's impossible. Because someone that's trying to enslave you is trying to put you in a box. And to put you in a box, they need to be standing still as well, because they're enslaved. You can only be enslaved by someone that's enslaved. Shit falls downhill. You cannot be on the top of the pyramid. You cannot be the all-seeing eye if you're enslaving people. There's someone enslaving you. There's someone that did it to you. There's someone that put you through it or put them through it. And that's why they're doing it to you. Because they don't know what else to do. Because that's all that their subconscious knows is slavery. Is bondages and chains and shackles. That's why people wear chains around their neck. They wear crosses because they're crossing themselves, because they don't know what to do. They don't know how to behave for themselves. They don't know how to be themselves, to have, the be, to birth themselves new in every moment and keep moving endlessly, knowing that you will always come out of whatever you go into, no matter what it is, because you are on top of your game. Because to be on top of your game is to be the all-seeing eye, is to be the pyramid, to be illuminated, is to be the one, because you are the one Son. If you realize that you're the Mother, Son, and the Father, you are the Holy Trinity, and then you circle it all. We ain't making boxes out here. We ain't trying to trap people. Only people that try to trap people are people who are trapped themselves. Free your mind and free your body so that you can actually see through the charade that time is, and reach out and help someone else be free as well. That's what I'm doing right now, reaching out through this video. Slavery is a choice. Slavery is a choice. chew on that. Your choice is what you chew on. It's what you choose. Chew. Be the train moving. The train has momentum. You step in front of a train and see what happens. That's what you gotta do. You gotta be the time, because the train works off time. The train knows time. It doesn't stop. It's a locomotive on a track going somewhere, and you can't derail that motherfucker. You try. You take your car into a train and see if you derail it. Good luck. Good luck. You can only be enslaved when you choose to bow down to what people tell you to do. When you choose that they know what's right and you don't. When you choose that what you are doing is the right thing, you're free. You're free. Then you know it. Then you don't have to try to convince someone of it, because people that try to convince someone of what they know, that this is right, this is history, this is what you should be doing, this is what you should be learning, this is history, this is written in the books, this is exactly what it is, this is how it works. No, it's not how it works. It's not how it works. Because I work different. I'm working I'm firing on all cylinders. You just gotta do it. You just gotta do it. That's why Nike's got a swoosh. Everyone likes say it's a Saturn rings. It's a Saturn rings, because the person that invented it, that came up with that logo, that's what they made it off of. Well, maybe they did. But what does Saturn do? It spins. What is Saturn? Father Time. Cronus. It's a titan. You try knocking a titan over. The gods didn't overthrow the titans. The titans fucking left because they were done playing with these goddamn kids. Time left them. They left them in a trap. They left Cronus' son, Zeus. Hey Zeus, Jesus. Cronus left Zeus because he was a child that did not want to take ownership of what he was doing. He was trying to keep his reign over everyone because he himself was enslaved in the mind. He didn't realize it though. And he himself enslaved every other god in doing so. Because he is the king of the gods. No. It's not how it works. You ain't the king of anyone. Anyone that's truly a king knows that they're not the king of their people. Their people choose to follow them because of what they put out. And what they put out is truly trying to teach their people how they can be just like them so that they can be free themselves. That's a true king. A true king is given true gnosis. He's trying to teach people how to smell the flowers in the simplest sense of literally going outside and smelling the roses and seeing what comes out of the ground, what rose, what grew, what came, what's going, the motions of everything. This is how you be free. You know that you keep turning in a new place, which means you're spiraling. You're always in motion. You just have to realize it yourself. You have to be able to put it together yourself. Stop playing with yourself. Literally, stop playing with yourself. And start doing yourself. Start doing yourself. Whatever that may be.